everyone. Welcome to another interesting episode of the SarahSpeaks Podcast. I am Sarah Jose Adiogun, your host, and today's episode is a very interesting one, and it is titled The Power of Alignment. This podcast talks about leadership, it talks about purpose, it talks about faith and vision that is grounded in values. About a new chapter, because 2026 for us is a year that we call where we are leading with purpose in a defining decade. We are moving into the second part of this decade, year 6 of the 2020s, and we now need to look back because half of the decade is over. How do we accomplish more within the next 5 years, that when we enter into the next decade as individuals, as a business, as a country, we have actually maximized God's best for this decade. We have begun this year with a message that sits at the very heart of leadership, business, nation building, and personal growth. We started with the power of consistency. Now we are moving into another topic, the power of alignment. This is when vision meets value. Your vision and your values must align for you to deliver the best outcomes for your business. We are living in a decade that will define generations. Digital technology has taken center stage. We've moved at the speed of lightning in technology. Economies are shifting. The order of nations is shifting and being realigned. Institutions are under pressure, and leadership, real leadership, is being tested like never before in the history of the world. If you look at our world today, there's a lot of chaos. We look at powers, America, China. We look at empires crumbling and other empires emerging. And in the midst of all that, technology has taken center stage, and it has grown beyond our wildest imagination in time past. The world is now a global village. The internet never forgets. It's more difficult for our children to make a mistake now than it was for us. Those days you made a mistake and you could get over it. Now you make a mistake and the world has it at their fingertips for the rest of your lives. How is that affecting us? This decade will not reward the loudest voices. It will reward the most aligned leaders, because misalignment is costly. You can have a compelling vision but still fail because of misalignment. Your values must sustain you in today's world. That is why we have had big conglomerates crumble, because their business practices did not meet scrutiny. Today, ethical leadership, ethical business has become a thing like never before in the history of the world. You can build fast and yet collapse and fail because your character, because your values cannot carry the weight of success. The more you succeed in today's world, the more the scrutiny of the world on the values underlying your decisions as a business. That is why misalignment is very costly, my friend. Stephen Covey once said, "Strength lies in differences, not in similarities." But for us today, strength lies in alignment. Alignment between who you are, what you believe, and what you pursue. Who you are, what you believe, and what you pursue. There must be alignment. You cannot say one thing today and do another thing tomorrow. Before you know it, the internet is awash. This person is two-faced. Oh, you can't buy from their business. You can't patronize them because you can't trust them, because their speech, their actions, their decisions are not aligned. Alignment is when your vision reflects your values. You can be trusted that you say what you will do and do what you will say. Your decisions are consistent with your beliefs. You are not one religion today and tomorrow you are another religion. You don't say one thing today and tomorrow you do another. Your private life supports your public leadership. That is why today many children are conflicted. Many youths are conflicted. They cannot identify who their parents are outside with the kind of parents they have inside. Some are so good outside, when they come in, they are demons. Some are so bad outside, when they come to the house, they want to pretend they are saints. Who you are in your private life must align with who you are in your public life. Your faith must inform your strategy. You cannot say you are a Christian at home, but when you go out, you tell people, this is business, so you need to do what it needs to be done for you to be relevant, for you to succeed. No. Your faith must inform your strategy. Your purpose must govern your profits. You don't do anything that needs to be done so that you can make profits. No, your purpose must align. Your purpose must govern your profits, because profitability is of God, and you must make the right decisions in your life and in your business, and consistently over time it will deliver profits. Alignment is not perfection, it is integrity in motion. That is why one of the values that every big business and every good business must have is the value of integrity. Alignment is integrity in motion. The Bible tells us, it says, can two walk together except they be agreed? You cannot be unequally yoked in life or in business. You cannot say that you are a person of integrity, but you are doing business with someone that is a known crook and criminal. It doesn't work that way. You cannot walk into the future that God has designed for you carrying a baggage of wrong decisions, wrong values, and wrong actions. It just doesn't work. Let me speak to leaders now. Whether you are an emerging leader or an established leader, leadership is about alignment. Where you are a leader, you have vision but no trust. Nobody trusts you. You don't do the right thing. Nobody can do business with you. Your reputation is in shreds and in tatters. You have authority without credibility. Power without legitimacy. We have a lot of that in Nigeria today. Power without legitimacy. Leaders that the people can clearly say, we really did vote this person into power. They ran with the boxes and today they are leading us. There is misalignment. And that is where you find that there is trouble in the land. True leadership begins with self-alignment. Before you ask, can I lead an organization? Can I influence policy? Can I transform an organization or transform a nation? You must first ask yourself, am I aligned? Are my decisions aligned with my principles? Are my choices aligned with my beliefs? Is my vision aligned with my faith? What are my values? What values are guiding my business? Because you must define it. You will find that the most successful organizations in the world, they are clear on what their values are. And those are the values based on which they apply their trade and pursue their business. People may follow your competence for a season, but they will only trust your character for the long haul. Character speaks. The Bible tells us that the integrity of the righteous guides them. Let our integrity guide us. Let our decisions be guided by the values that we espouse. Only then can we say that we are aligned leaders. In 2026 and many more years to come, leadership will not be about titles. It will be about alignment, because the internet has become so powerful today that misaligned leaders are easily picked. What you said yesterday, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, people can just bring it up and place it beside what you are saying today, and the misalignment just becomes visible for the world to see, and that breaks down trust. Many organizations have fantastic visions on paper, but it cannot be executed. Today we talk about ESG. We want to save our environment. We want a sustainable world. We want a sustainable leadership. The only way we can achieve that, ESG, is based upon aligned leadership. Sustainability, inclusion, ethical governance, and community impact are all built upon aligned leadership. Vision without values is greenwashing, because you tell your stories but there is no alignment. ESG is not a branding strategy, it is a values framework. So in a world that is continually espousing ESG, you cannot be a misaligned organization or leader. It becomes greenwashing and it is easily picked. And that is why many organizations are unable to get funding to scale and grow their business, because of misalignment, because of greenwashing, because their values and their vision are not aligned. Alignment asks hard questions. The way you make money, is it aligned with your vision? Do your supply chain align with your social promises? That's why many people say, oh, they use child labor in their manufacturing process, and suddenly the product is boycotted. Stephen Bartlett set up a chocolate company that became almost an overnight success because he built that company on the principle of ethical cocoa sourcing. I will not use cocoa that has used child labor in its value chain. And that is what has informed the massive success of his chocolate brand. Do your governance structures reflect accountability? Because accountability is key now. You must set up your boards. You must set up your organization. You must set up your governance structure in such a way that your organization is accountable and you can be held accountable for the decisions you take and the impacts that you make on your environment. In Luke 16:10, Jesus said, whoever can be trusted with little can also be trusted with much. Can you be trusted with the little that is in your hands today? Only then can you scale and grow and become the brand that you envision for your business. Sustainable businesses in this decade will be built by leaders who understand something. Profit is a reward for value, not a substitute for value. Your profit must be ethically sourced based upon the values with which you do your business. This can be taken to all aspects of our life, in nations, in organizations, in families. Where your actions do not align with your values, there is chaos. And that is why even in nation building, we will talk about alignment. I'm not going to go in depth into that now, because in Nigeria, I can see misalignment and it is affecting us seriously as a country. I pray that the ongoing reforms are applied truthfully in such a way to make the right impact on our governance structures. The Bible tells us that where there is no vision, the people perish for lack of vision. I will add that where there is vision without values, people suffer. That is why Nigeria, we've had Vision 2020, Vision 2030, Vision 2050, vision, but there are no values underpinning the vision. That is why we have been unable to achieve any one of the goals that we have set for ourselves as a country, not because of lack of vision, but the values to underpin that vision and make it come to pass has been missing. In today's world, we require leaders with values to deliver. Otherwise, that misalignment is costing us and will continue to cost us massively. As a person, you cannot grow beyond the level of alignment in your life. It doesn't happen. Many people are exhausted because they are not being true to themselves. They are living a lie. They are lying to themselves, they are lying to others. You must be aligned. You must be truthful. Your values and your actions must not contradict each other. Alignment brings peace. And a man that is at peace in his heart is at peace in his life. And it gives him the ability to make the right decision at the right time. You are not trying to overdo. You are not trying to impress. You are just being yourself. There is alignment between your spirit, soul, and body. It brings focus, resilience, and momentum. Because when you are true to yourself, to your values, and to your future, it brings a peace that is beyond human understanding. So, as we move forward in 2026, I want to call upon you to ensure that there is alignment of purpose, alignment of vision, alignment of values, alignment of action, alignment of leadership. Leaders who lead with conscience, who choose values all the time, who builds legacies, and who serve. They serve God, they serve people, and they serve nations. As Albert Einstein once said, become a person of value rather than a person of success. Because the person of value will succeed consistently, sustainably over time. When vision meets values, success is meaningful, leadership is credible, and impact is lasting. This year on this podcast, we are going to explore leadership that is purpose-driven, that is faith-anchored, business smart, ESG conscious, nation-focused, and personally transformative. The future does not belong to the most ambitious. It belongs to the people of value, the most aligned, not the most ambitious. I am Sarah Speaks. Until our next episode, where we will be going into another very interesting topic, I will say, lead with vision, lead with boldness, lead with values, and yes, lead consistency, alignment with who you are and who you hope to be. Thank you very much. And if this podcast blessed you, please share widely, comment, and let us know how our podcast is impacting your life. Thank you very much. And be the leader that you would want to see for today. Thank you.